Hello, Aiden. We are starting Chapter 3 review. And we are going to start from the front and work to the back. Yesterday, we did these last 3 questions. You probably don't have this review sheet yet because you were gone yesterday. So, here's the video. Come get a review sheet from me, but here is how this works, okay? We'll start with number 1 and we'll work from front to back now, even though we have the last 3 done. Number 1 is asking for a couple different things. The y-intercept first for this problem. They want the axis of symmetry, and then they want the vertex. So I'm going to write all those things down so I make sure I don't forget anything. All right, and then we have to graph it, okay? So here we go. The y-intercept. What's the y-intercept? 12. You should know that, right? 12. You just, like, it's that last number, okay? All right, I don't do the axis of symmetry next. I do the vertex next. How do we find the vertex?
Negative b over 2a.
Okay, so if you want to write this down, this would be a good thing to write down. Negative b over 2a, and then what do we do after we find that? Plug that number in to find the second coordinate, the y coordinate, right? So that's how we find the vertex. Okay, let's practice doing that. Negative b. Negative b will be a negative 4, so positive 4, over 2 times, what's a? Minus 1. Okay, 4 divided by 2 times minus 1 is negative 2. What's 4 divided by negative 2? Negative 2, comma, and then we plug negative 2 back in. Negative 2. This would be if negative 2 squared is 4, but then that's negative 4 because the negative's on the front. Negative 4 times negative 2 is plus 8 plus 12. So negative 4 plus 8 plus 12, I think, is like 16. Oh, heavens. Okay. I don't have 12 and I don't have 16 on my graph. Let's go by 2s. Can we go by 2s? Okay, so my y-intercept is 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 right here, this dot. So like 6 up, basically, okay? Negative 2, 16 would be like there, yeah? Negative 2, 16 if I do that, okay? Now, my axis of symmetry is this little dotted line right here. What's the equation for that axis of symmetry? X equals negative 2. Now, don't just put negative 2. Please put x equals negative 2 because negative 2 just looks like a dot, but x equals negative 2 is a line, okay? So x equals negative 2. Then, I also know that this dot can go over here on the other side as well, and there's my parabola, okay? Oh, he faces downward. Is he supposed to?
Yeah.
Yes, because he's negative, right? Okay, and that's what it looks like. Now, how do I know that I don't need to shade this?
Because there's no greater than.
Yeah, there's no greater than or less than symbol right here. This guy is an equal to sign, okay? And when that's true, you don't have to worry about dotted line, solid line, whatever. It's just solid line, no shading, okay? Good? Happy with that? That was number 1. Okay, let's do 2 together, and then I'll have you try 3 on your own, okay? And then we'll check the answer, okay? So number 2, let's write down what they're asking for. They say, is it a max or a min? So max slash min, we have to decide that. Where that maximum min is located at, and then they want the domain and they want the range. Those are the things that they want, okay? So I'm listed out so I know I don't forget anything. Max or min, here we go. I'm going to not worry about max and min yet. Is this going to be a smiley face or a frowny face? Smiley face. He's positive, right? Okay, so I'm going to do a little rough sketch. That's what it looks like. Now I can tell. Is he going to have a maximum point or a minimum point? He's going to have a minimum. He's going to have a low point, okay? And now I have to find where that is. Got it? Where that is. This dot right here is the minimum, and that's another name for the vertex. Yeah, so vertex, we do negative b over 2a. Negative b over 2a. All right. Negative b is negative 2 over 2 times a is 1. Negative 2 over 2 is negative 1 comma something. Ugh. All right, here we go. Negative 1 squared is 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 minus 8. 1 minus 2 minus 8. 9. Negative 9. Perfect. Okay, so this dot right here is negative 1, negative 9. So what do I say is my minimum point? Just negative 9. It's like saying what's the lowest he goes, right? Just negative 9. If you put negative 1, negative 9, I'm probably not going to count it wrong, but you just have to have the y coordinate. What's the lowest he goes? Negative 9. Okay? Good, good? All right, for domain, left and right. He's going to go left and right forever, all round numbers. The range, he will go up forever, but he won't go down forever. it will just be y is greater than or equal to -9. Okay? Good. That was kind of fast. All right, you try number 3. Same steps again. You have to label these max or min, where that's located at, and then domain range. Okay? Figure those guys out. I'll give you a head start and then I'll go. No, I'm fine. I need some water. I'm like parched here. That's a good sign. The shake of the head. That's a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
You're observant.
Yes. This is also a good sign. I like it. Okay.
You know what sarcasm is?
Yes, sir.
That's what I was getting at. When you call me
Okay. Any questions about that? I kind of showed some of my work up there. 2, 3 is the vertex. So the maximum is at 3, yeah? Your range will always correspond to whatever your maximum and minimum is, by the way, if you didn't know that already, if you didn't put that together. Okay? Good? All right, I'll move on without you, like if you're not ready. Are you ready to go for number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Yeah? Okay. All right. Number 4, 5, and 6. I have given you tables for. So number 4, those are the numbers we're going to plug in. And in fact, I might just plug them in for you. Actually, you can help me plug them in. But I'll plug them in really fast in my brain, if I can. Do you know how to plug numbers into your calculator?
Yes.
Okay, then we're going to kind of like go through that really fast, okay? We're not going to waste time. Okay. If I plug 0 in, it's going to be 5, right? You know that, right? Okay? All right, -1. If I plug -1 in, this stays -2 plus 6 plus 5, so 9. Okay, if I plug -2 in, we get 9. If I plug -3 in, we get 5. And if I plug -4 in, we get -3. That was really fast calculator brain. Just kidding. I remember it from last period. All right, anyway, I'm not as smart as I look. Maybe. Did that make sense? I have no idea. Anyway, 0, 5. Right there. -1 is at 9. That's all the way up there at the top. Okay, but how is -2 at 9? Like, why are those straight across from each other? Like, I don't get that. That's not the vertex. The vertex is going to be like this little hump in between them, right? You see that? Okay. Then we have back at 5 again, and then at -3 is down here. So my parabola looks like, whoa, let's get the right color here. My parabola looks like this. Something like that. Okay. I don't even know what we're doing. What are we doing? Solve each equation. If exact roots cannot be found, state the consecutive integers between the roots are located. What is a root? An x-intercept or a 0, right? Okay. So does this one have exact roots or exact zeros? No. So we say between what? They're going to be between something.
-3,
-3 and -4.
and
Okay.
0
And 0 and 1. There you go. So these ones could occur between. Now, we know now, we're not going to actually do this for this problem, but we know now that if it doesn't occur exactly, it's at a decimal. And what would we have to do to find that exact place?
Math.
Math.
The equation.
The quadratic formula of the equation, right? I don't know if that's what you meant by the equation. You're just like, yeah, right? That is, yeah. I'm brilliant. But, okay. Second one, these are the ones that we're plugging in. -7, -6, -5, -4, -3. Okay. Good. All right. -7. I got to think for just a second. 49 minus 70 plus 24. This is 70. 3, so 3. And then 0, and then -1, and then 0, and then 3.
Okay.
Because I remember them. I just don't remember the first coordinate, but I remember that the -6 and 4 were zeros. -5 was at -1. So that's your table. I plugged them in real fast for you. There you go. -7. 2, 4, 6, 7 is at 3. 6 is at 0. -6 is at 0. We're at 1, there, and there. That's my parabola. He's beautiful. He's very good looking. Does this one have exact zeros?
Yes.
Yeah, we like it. Where at?
-4.
Now, how did you find that out? Did you do that from the table or from the graph?
Yes.
Yes, both, right? So we can see that here are the zeros, right? -6 and -4. Those also, you can tell it from the graph that that's where they touch, right? Those zeros, those x-intercepts. Okay? All right, this one I'm not going to remember these because these ones are wonky weird. Weird stuff. Okay, these are the numbers I plug in. I know 0's at -6. I know that. All right, let me do some math real quick. No, that's +8. 8 plus 2 minus 6 is 4. Then 2 plus 1 minus 6 is -3. Then 2 minus 1, this is at 5. And 2, this is 8, minus 2 minus 6 is at 0. There we go. Those are your numbers if you plug them in. Okay, you guys know how to plug these numbers in, correct? Okay, so that's why I'm doing it for you. All right, -2, 4. If you didn't know how to do it, we'd have to practice, but -1, -3, 0, -6. This is weird. This is a weird thing. Normally, your parabola is symmetric. What's going on with this?
These are just different spots.
This parabola is still symmetric, but my vertex, do you see where your vertex is going to be? Do you know where he's going to be at?
The lowest point.
The lowest point, where is the lowest point going to be? Like right about there, actually.
Okay.
Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah, he goes down and then he comes back up. Is he's still symmetric, right?
Supposed to be -5 then, because you have 5 on the
Oh, gosh. Yes, you're right. I lie. -5. Huh. Sorry, I just screwed you all up because now you're all the way up in the air. Okay, whatever. -5. Yes, thank you for correcting me on that. Okay, so your parabola just looks like that, where your vertex is like a halfway point between. So that will happen when it's weird. Do we have exact zeros here?
Yeah,
One of them is. The other one is between. So which one is exact? 2. We can see that from the table. 2, 0. I have an exact 0. And then I say and between
1 and
-1 and -2. Right? That was super quick. Was that okay? Okay. It's like, can we go back to this? Do you remember doing this and you were like, and now all of the information that you know, you're like, I just wish the chapter was just this. Like, that was as hard as it got, right? Like, that would be wonderful, right? Okay. All right, here we go. Let's go. Number 7. Bleh. 7 is the ugly one. The rest of them are not terrible bad. I to the 55th power. We want to break him down. I don't know what I to the 55th power is, but I know what I squared is.
-1.
It's -1.
So this is just I.
Write that down. I squared equals -1. and then put like a little bubble around it so that you can refer back to that. I squared equals -1. Okay, how many times do I have to take I squared times itself to get close to 55?
Times 25.
7 times.
27 times. If I take I squared times 27 times, that will give me 54. How do I get the 55th one?
Plus I.
I'm going to say times I to the first power, right? Because that will actually end up adding another I onto it. So times another I squared to the 27th times another I, that'll give me 55, yeah? Okay, now we simplify. We're almost done. I squared, you said, was -1. Okay, so this is -1. If I take -1 times itself 27 times, what will happen?
It'll be +1.
-1 times -1 times -1 times -1, 27 of those.
It'll be +1 because it's an odd number, or squared number.
If you have an odd number of negatives, does it become a positive or a negative?
Oh, wait.
Negative.
Like, let's say 3, right? Negative times negative times negative is negative, right? So an odd number of negatives makes it stay -1, right? So -1 to the 27th power is just -1, right? That's how he simplifies. Times I. What's -1 times I? Negative I, or -1I. That's what he simplifies to. Ooh.
No,
I don't think I give you any of those
that's not good.
on the test. What?
Why does I exist if it's just...
I don't know.
I hate.
Eyes exist a lot. So like these problems that we're doing here, this exists a lot in like currents of like electrical currents. They do like eyes and stuff for electrical currents. Yeah. So this is like the units that they deal with for electrical currents when you're trying to figure out a positive charge or a negative charge. Yeah. Okay, number 8. I'm going to have somebody on the test. Don't let it be you.
You have to put a
Try to foil that. Do you foil this one, number 8? What do?
You have to put a 1 in front.
Right, you're subtracting. So Ethan says put a 1 there. You don't have to put a 1 there, but like -1, like that makes me see in my brain that I need to distribute this negative through. Do you see that? Okay, so if I distribute that negative through, that becomes -48 plus 30i. Okay, this 10 plus 15i is just chilling. Yeah? Now what?
simplify. They're like...
Combine like terms. So 10 and -48 can go together. -38, okay? And then 15i and 30i is plus 45i. Happy with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay? That wasn't too hard, but don't forget to distribute the negative. All right? 9. What are we doing there? Foil? No, don't foil. This is adding, right? So you're just adding, you're just combining stuff. Now, why don't we have to distribute this plus through like we did with the negative? It's not going to change anything. So we can. What's a positive times a -13? It stays -13. What's a positive times a -8? It stays -8i, right? So you don't have to distribute the negative. You can just combine them, right? So, but if you want to, if that helps you, if that makes sense to you, you can go ahead and do that. Then we combine like terms, right? 5 minus 13. -8 and -2i minus 8i. -10i. Perfect. That is all. You cannot add i's to numbers that don't have i's, right? You just leave them separate. It's like -8 plus 10x or whatever. You can't put x's with non-x's, right? Okay, happy with that? Okay, look at 10 and 11 at the same time. Now we get to foil. Number 10 and number 11. Okay, I'm going to do number 10 with you. You got to do number 11 by yourself. Okay? Got it? For practice. Here we go. Number 10. To foil. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times -5i. -20i. Then I go to 3i times 2. Plus 6i. Okay, now, this is the hard part. What is 3i times -5i? Negative 15I squared. Okay, now before we start combining stuff,
It goes to
negative 15I squared. I squared is negative 1, right? So negative 15 and negative 1, what happens there?
positive.
Becomes positive 15, right? Okay, negative 15 times negative 1 is positive 15. Now I can combine. What two things can you combine? 8 and 15 becomes 23. And then negative 20I and 6I minus 14I. Beautiful. Okay, did that make sense? You will always have it where that last digit you'll have to just, and it just flips the sign again. Always. Like that's what happens. Okay? All right, try number 11 by yourself. Okay, foil, foil, foil. And then simplify. All right, I'll give you a head start and then you can check with me. Okay? Foil, foil, foil.
7 times 9 is 63.
Yes, very nice. You just help me out because I.
7 times 8.
What's 63 plus 12?
75, that's what I got. And now I'm stuck. Ah. Negative 42 plus 18. Why can I not think? Why can't I math?
Do we have to do something with like i's on number 12?
Defense. 42
Yes.
minus 42.
Yes. It's not bad. It's not bad.
That's bad.
No, that's not bad.
Gordon.
Did I get the right answer? I don't know. I can't math. I can't add negative 42 and 18.
6I.
Did I get it right? Okay.
25? Where do you have 7?
Or 75, yeah, it's 75.
Okay, happy with that? Did you get the foil? Did you get it right? Okay. All right, here we go. Number 12, the square root of negative 36. We got some controversy going on in the back. We're going to see who's right. I already know who it is. Negative inside of a square root goes away and becomes I. Then the square root of 36 is 6. Is it plus or minus 6?
What's his name?
Yes. No.
Technically, the square root's already there, so it's just 6i.
Oh, it's positive. I put positive and negative.
Yes. Normally, if we put the square root in there, and the square root's not already there, then it's plus and minus. But since that square root's already there, we can like assume that there's a positive in front of there already. Okay? So just 6i.
Are
Done.
you gonna have the one where we have to split it into two on the test?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think
They're
so.
both.
Yeah. Okay? All right, 13, 14, 15 is kind of under the same I subcategory, so we might have some I's snuck in here. All right, here we go. Let's figure out what these are. We want to solve for n. I don't even know where to start. What do you want to do?
Subtract 35.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it. Minus 35 minus 35. Okay, he's gone. 5n squared equals negative 35. And then what shall we do? Can you take the square root right now? Because I see that square and I'm like, I want to take the square root really bad.
Don't do it.
You've got to divide by 5 first. So don't let that be you. You have to divide by 5 first. You have to get the n squared by itself before you take the square root. What's negative 35 divided by 5? Negative 7. Okay, then I take the square root, right? Okay, let's talk about the square root of negative 7 for just a second. First of all, we put the square root in there, so we have to have plus and minus, right? The square root, it wasn't already existing, so it's going to be a positive and negative. But the square root of negative 7, this negative can come out and make it
7I.
I, but what's the square root of 7?
Nothing.
So we leave it the square root of 7, I. That's all. Ooh, let me circle it better. There we go. Okay, if it doesn't come out nicely, just leave it inside the square root. Right? Good? Happy with that?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah? Okay. All right, do you want to try number 14 and 15? Yeah. Yeah. Try 14 and 15. Okay, I'll give you a head start and then you go. What are you doing over here?
I wanted to hit the bottom.
You wanted to what?
I wanted to hit the bottom.
Hit the bottom?
Yeah.
Wait, which one do we do?
14 and 15.
64. The favorite. I don't have a time.
64 divided by 4.
Mm. No, what is the
16.
Okay.
60? For real?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it negative 16?
Yes. It'll be the, yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
69.
Is it
Oh,
plus
okay,
minus
wait.
16 or plus minus 4 or is it like
Plus minus. What's the square root of negative 16?
4i?
4i.
Oh,
Can I leave it normally at a 60 or I have to?
I would prefer you make it 4 because 16 does come out
Yeah,
nice.
I know, but if I have to. It's one step, but one step is one step.
One step is one step, right? Plus minus 4i. Okay, do 15 also. Same thing. 15 is exactly the same.
May I go use the restroom?
Yes.
You agree with that? No. Thank you.
square.
Who's talking? Okay. Never made
Plus
never
minus
made.
I.
What do we put as the square root of negative 3? So the square root of negative 3i.
It'll be the square root of 3i. The negative becomes the i.
Oh no.
Yep. So the fact that 3 doesn't come out nicely, like 16 did.
Or no?
So we left that
No,
4,
no.
right? But
Oh, no.
3i, yep. Plus and minus the square root of 3i.
Oh, no.
Plus and minus?
Yes, plus and minus in front.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, did you get through 14, 15? Yes. Am I going too fast? Are we doing okay?
We're doing good.
Okay, we're doing good? All right, let's try to get through.
20. So chill. We have 15
I know.
Let's try to get through 16, 17 because then I think we can do the backside tomorrow, right? Because we don't have to do 35, 36. Okay? So the backside tomorrow, I'm gonna be gone. I will leave a video. Don't forget to watch it. Okay? You will be in class, or if you're gone, make sure you watch it. But I will post 18 through 34 solutions. That doesn't mean just copy off the video. Try to go through it as we go through it and make sure it makes sense, okay? All right, of course, right. Okay, write a quadratic equation in standard form with the given roots or the given zeros. What and how do I do that? This means that x equals 0 and x equals 3, right? Yeah? So what did my bubbles look like before?
X minus 2.
X minus 3. What about 0? X plus 0, sure. Okay, then what do we do? I'm going to write an equation.
Just minus 0 and plus 3. Foil.
We're going to FOIL. Yep. We're going to FOIL. X times x
X school.
is x squared. X times minus 3
X school.
minus 3x. 0 times x is 0x. What's 0 times negative 3?
0.
Like plus 0, whatever. Okay.
So plus
I don't need to do
0
So-
x is,
What I'm gonna do the plus 0. X squared minus.
X squared minus 3x. Did you know that if 0 is one of your zeros, just FYI, if this confuses you, don't listen, but if 0 is one of your zeros, x plus 0 is technically just x, right? So all I really needed to do was distribute the x through, right? I don't need to do anything with the 0, right? And I would get the same answer. And I would get that answer faster, probably, right? Okay? So I wouldn't necessarily have to FOIL in that case, okay? If that confused you, don't listen. All right, so there's that. Okay, you want to try 17 on your own. Find your bubbles and FOIL. Find your 2 bubbles and FOIL. I'll give you a head start.
Okay.
There you go.
X minus.
why is it x minus 3? How did you, so this is x minus 5?
No, x plus 5, because you switch the sign,
It's
right?
Oh,
minus
so then this one is negative 8.
Yep,
Or
x minus 8. Yep, and then
Why?
you FOIL them. Right.
because it's a positive.
Oh, yeah. Positive 5 minus. I switch it.
Wait. How did we do it again?
So now you're FOIL.
So
you took
I
x
took-
times x. Now take x times negative 8.
I forgot to
Oh,
switch
so
You got x
negative
squared
minus 8
minus
squared.
3x
Minus
minus
8
1.
x.
X squared.
No, just x.
Oh,
X times negative 8 is
Got
minus 8.
negative
5
40.
times
5 plus
What?
1
plus
x.
3x.
X squared
Okay, and then
minus
positive 5
40
times
minus
negative 8.
3x.
Negative 40.
Okay, so then the last thing we do is put it together. So x squared, and you just tag along in the front. So negative 8x plus 5.
Why are we ignoring
Oh, negative
So he seems pretty disappointed.
Very nice. Okay.
So whiny when
All right. Did you guys get that? Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Is this all making sense? So you're doing okay. This is a lot of stuff for chapter 3. Chapter 3 is like hugely loaded.
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. Lots of stuff to study for this test. Okay. Tomorrow I'll post the rest of it, and then Friday we'll do whiteboards. But don't forget to watch that video tomorrow. Did I make that perfectly clear? Like that's really important to do.
Yep.
Okay. There you go. Goodbye, Aiden.